Okay, guys, welcome to this week's Fife Property Update. This is where we look at the market over the whole market of Fife and who was listed what and where it's been listed, and we then look into exactly where it's where we are right now. I'm going to also talk about the properties that we've actually recently sold, and the reasons behind that is because it gives you a good indication if you've got a similar type of property, what prices they're going for. We're also going to talk about the properties actually we've got coming to market this week. We've actually signed up and they're ready in position and they're just waiting to proceed further forward. So we're going to give you a wee insight into that as well. Some of them are actually before a pre-portal is done. So this is a golden opportunity to jump in now and message us direct and get more information on these properties actually before they come to market. And if it's something that you really like, then make sure you get your ducks in a row so you're ready to go. Once it comes up to a pre-portal stage, you might actually be in a position to proceed and make that offer the seller cannot refuse. And this could be your dream home coming up. So this is what we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about as well as a couple of shows actually coming into we did during the week, and also the instant valuation tool that we have. So let's go over this right now. This is the weekly property update, as I said. Let's jump on to look at the Fife market, look at where we are in terms of the numbers. Okay, so last week it was a way round. It was supply was a lot more than demand was. And, you know, it's kind of thinking, okay, are we now getting to the point where housing stock available for sale is going to creep up? And could that give us a strong indication that prices are going to stabilize? Well, this week, it's actually turned the other way. So now demand is outstripping supply. So it's basically changed back to what it was and even the figures out to where it was before. So I could safely say that the market is still going to continue to boom at this point in time, because in Fife, this is where the numbers are. And this is, the numbers don't lie. Really, that's what it tells us. 116 properties overall come onto market, 130 actually going under offer in that period. And that cancels out the period before. It was similar the week before that, and then it was the other way around the week before that. So overall, this is horses for courses. It's 6.5 a dozen when it comes down to it, and this shows us. And individually in the Cooper area, for example, I mean, there's 4 properties came onto market, 9 properties went under offer and sold in that week. East Nuke, 3 properties came onto market, 4 properties went under offer and sold. Again, demand's outstripping supply. St Andrews 10 versus 7. That's not unusual for St Andrews. Remember that the higher price point of the whole housing market. St Andrews tends to be, well, Fife in general, I keep saying it, and I will say it again just for the people that haven't heard this before. Fife in general has what we find, and I'll just recap. Fife in general is a microcosm of what happens in the UK. So one side, we have the St Andrews, which is the London of Fife. At the other side, we have other properties which are actually a bit less in terms of price point. So we've got these, and we've got the ones in between as well in terms of the market. Also, Fife is 50% urban, 50% rural, industrial, farming, and fishing areas. So that tends to be a reflection of what goes on in the whole of the UK as well, right across Fife. And that's why I think this is actually quite a good indication of where the housing market is going in general right now at this point in time. So Leavenmouth, 9 properties came to market, 8 properties under offer and sold. Dunfermline, 42 versus 45. Glenorchy, 16 versus 21. Now that's turned around from last week. So that's more or less cancelled out last week's oversupply. Kirkcaldy, 32 versus 36. So as I said, 116 versus 130. In other words, 116 properties are coming onto the market in the week from all the estate agents in Fife. And out of that, 130 has actually been sold. So again, supply coming down from where it was the week before. Okay, if you want to ask my question, please feel free to ask that question as well. I could answer this live for you and give you that, or I could take it offline, answer it later on. If it's a more personal question, you could message me direct as well. So let's pop on to what was actually sold in the week. As I said, this gives you a good indication about the ones that we've sold, the price point we've actually asked for them in the beginning, and what type of property this is. It'll give you an indication about what your house is generally worth. A lot of people, and I'll come back to saying it, a lot of people don't realise their house is worth a lot more than what they actually think it is. Now, if that's the case and you're sitting in a house and it's worth a lot more than what you think it is, that will probably give you the choice whether you want to upsize or downsize and actually either release money or reinvest your money in the next property up from there. And that will allow you possibly to buy the home of your dreams. And I keep saying it again, if you're not living in the home of your dreams right now, you need to contact us because we can make that happen. And that's our tagline, helping you manage life as it happens. Let's pop back onto these numbers and talk about the properties themselves. So Invery Street in St Monans, this is sold now. This was a 3-bedroom terraced townhouse on 3 levels. New owners delighted with their new family home. This was originally offers over 190,000. Now that's went for that price over. So I can't divulge what price it will go over for, but it's now sold and it was offered over 190,000. Calcy House in Achtermuchte. So this is one of the 2-bedroom upper apartments in Achtermuchte. Now this was sold at a closing date. 2 other people missed out on this property, and it was listed at offers over 85,000. Okay, Lawview and Leven. Now, this was an amazing 5-bedroom detached property. Really beautiful inside. You can see that detached garage to the side. It was on a huge, substantial plot, and it was quite a private entrance as well because you've got your own metal gates going into that off-street parking to there. Now, this was sold, and this was sold in 2 weeks, and this was on at offers over £350,000. So it gives a good indication about what the prices of these houses are. Really good build by Camping Homes. Really like Camping Homes build quality. It's a really good quality itself. No surprise here. Main Street in Collinsborough. This was the 2-bedroom end terraced house, and you could see that there. This was the size. It was basically from here right along to there. All that size, that front garden. There was another garden over the road here, and this was a private road going off to off-street parking at the back there, off the main street itself. Literally, this house would sit in the sun all day long, or you've got an opportunity to sit in the sun all day long, and it's off the main street itself. So that's sold in 1 week. One other person missed out on this. So if you have a similar property, it was listed at offers over 180,000. That gives you a good indication about where that price point is for that type of house. Langside Drive in Kennoway. This was sold in 1 week. This was a 3-bedroom end terrace house. New owners over the moon with their family home. It was listed at offers over £95,000. So it gives you a good indication again about what the price point is for these types of properties. King Street in St Andrews. Sold in 3 days. I actually overheard there was getting final closing bids on this property. It actually never went to a closing date, but everybody was in a position to proceed. 3 other people missed out on this property, the 2-bedroom upper apartment, and this was listed at offers over £215,000, and it sold in 3 days. Again, the one below was King Street as well. In St Andrews, that sold in 3 days, and that was on at offers over £235,000. That was a 2-bedroom ground floor apartment, and that was sold in 3 days, and 2 other people missed out on this property as well. That gives you a real good indication about where the market is right now at this point in time in terms of numbers, in terms of affordability. Let's talk about coming soon. So what have we got coming soon? And the reason we tell you about coming soon, make sure you've got your ducks in a row, make sure you're ready for these ones coming on, because these properties are ones that we've definitely signed up and they're in the process of coming to market. So the first one for this one is Letham Avenue in Leven. This is a 2-bedroom upper apartment. So if you're interested in a 2-bedroom upper apartment in Leven and Letham Avenue area, message us direct or contact us on an email, info@fifeproperties.co.uk, or you can call our office on 01333 421 774. Leave a message for us if you can't get a hold of us at the weekend or anything like that, and we will get back in touch with you. Ideally, I would say, though, for most of these properties, and the real quickest contact for us is actually message us direct, either from our website, because we have the link to our Facebook pages on the Messenger for our website, on our website, and we also have it on these posts as well, as you'll see right now. So you can message us direct on these posts as well. Anderson Street, a 2-bedroom upper apartment, that's going to be coming to the market as well. Carlton Avenue in Glenrothes, a 4-bedroom end terraced house is going to be coming up. Carlton Avenue is a really popular area, very, very popular, and I believe that this is a really nice property, according to Jimmy Mullen. I've been having a wee chat with him about it. Wellshot Road, or Wellshot Crescent, sorry, I'll re-emphasise that, Wellshot Crescent, and that's in Kennaway. That's a 3-bedroom semi-detached house that's going to be coming on as well. Jamie Anderson Place in St Andrews, a 3-bedroom semi-detached house. That is going to be coming on soon. So Jamie Anderson Place in St Andrews, 3-bedroom semi-detached house. If you're looking for one of these, then get in touch with us today. Let's talk about completed and over the line. 23 Rannoch Road in Methil. This will give you a real good indication about where price points are. A 3-bedroom upper apartment in Methil, 23 Rannoch Road in Methil, sold from social media, and it's sold for £70,000. New owners delighted with their property, and so that type of property, 3-bedroom, typical upper apartment in the Methil area, in the Rannoch Road area. So Rannoch Road, Kirtland area, and you'll be going to Morar Crescent and that as well. So they all sell round about the 70,000 and up mark. 11 Kirkwinding Crail, that was a 1-bedroom upper apartment with partial sea views from the upper. It's sold on social media again. So again, look, there's a pattern here. Sold on social media. In other words, it's sold before it gets to Rightmove, Prime Location, Zoopla, S1 Homes, even our website. It's been sold on social media. So people are jumping in at the pre-portal stage and they're getting the property before it ever gets to any website. This is the key here. Follow our pages. Make sure you do that. Make sure you register with us as well, because we are doing top secret properties as well. So top secret means we're telling you about properties that we're now going out to value, what area they're in, what type of property they are, and also what price point they'll be at as well. So we're actually giving you way advance notice, way before it even gets to pre-portal, way before it even gets to any website, on our social media pages, way in advance, so you can get your ducks in a row, so you're ready when it comes to market. When this property goes on the market, then you'll be ready to go, because you know it's coming up, that type of property in the area. So again, top secret, when you see that coming on and following our Facebook pages, if it's property you think you would be interested in, it's the right price point, message us direct and contact us again to register your interest. That's key here. So the one about Kirkwind, let me talk about that one. 1-bedroom upper apartment. So the downstairs was sold with another agent 1 month before that for 165,000, and we sold ours upstairs for 210,000. Not all estate agents are the same. You can see the stark differential in that price point, but that's what we achieve, and that's why people hire us to do the job for them. So there's a huge difference between how we market. People really buy us for our digital marketing, our retargeted campaigns, and also our negotiation skills. That's the key drivers that people hire our services for. If you really just want a house sold at any price, home sale online will do it for 99 quid. That's probably just as good as anybody else can do, to be honest, because they're just putting you on a website, hoping for the best and taking in inquiries. We're completely different in how we do things. Anyway, let's talk about some of the shows that have actually done recently during the week. Some of the articles that were done recently, okay, we talked about flower power and how important it is in terms of curb appeal and garden and everything you can do within your power to create the garden you love and the garden that will actually sell your home. We also talk about to create the garden that you love if you're staying in your existing home, and how you could do that very cost effectively at a minimal price in order to keep all your costs down, which is probably quite important at this point in time. So if I can show you and demonstrate to you that you can spend maybe a few £100 or less in order to make your garden look absolutely stunning, so you can get a better price point, maybe thousands more in the end result, because you've made the curb appeal perfect, would that be of interest to you? Absolutely. So that's why you would probably want to click on that link, watch that show, read that article as well, 4 minutes to do that. And you could also, if you've not got time, listen to the podcast on there, because it's on that article itself and that link leading to our website. Okay, midweek show as well. We'd also done one about 38,674 Fife Terraced Houses. Why are terraced houses so popular? So we talk about that and why they're so popular, and how you can drive the price in a terraced house, and how you can maximize the value of a terraced house, and how you would utilize that to get the best value for yourself. So lots of good tips in that show as well. That was Andrea and Perrett did that during the week, where it all originated from, why it was so popular, and how to drive the price for your terraced home. Tomorrow's Wealth Creation Show, I am going to be doing that now. I'm back from Spain. I'll be doing that. Richard will be joining me for that, and we'll be talking about urban myths. The myths that you get told you think are factual, and that pre-programs our minds into certain situations. But in actual fact, when we actually drive deep down behind that myth, it's not really got any foundation at all. Classic example, time equals money. Does it really? No, it doesn't. And I'll talk about that tomorrow at 12:30 on our Wealth Creation Show. So watch out for that. I'll be talking about that with Richard and myself. We'll be talking about that mainly on my page, which is my either the YouTube channel for people that are not watching social media and they're only watching YouTube. So we'll be doing live on YouTube. You can actually put your questions forward as well for, you know, anything that you're wanting to ask in terms of wealth creation, in terms of property investment, in terms of how you get started, to how, if you're a seasoned veteran in property investment, I could answer your questions. If you're wanting to get started in property investment, I could answer your questions. But more importantly, we're going to be talking about these urban myths, these things that pre-program people into not being so successful, because they buy into that, and we're preconditioned with these conceptions and these ideas in our mind. It's not possible. And the classic example for me is when I hear time equals money, and it is not true at all. Okay, and that holds us back in order to help us. Okay, so I'll be talking about that tomorrow at 12:30. Tune in for that. Instant valuation tool is on there as usual, and we talk about the instant valuation tool. I'll go on about it again. It is really important. There's about 11,000 people in Fife with a variable rate mortgage. Still 11,000 people. And yet you're probably paying on a variable rate mortgage right now, probably about 5 to 6% on your mortgage that you've got on your variable rate mortgage. Now, you could probably fix that right now, still on deals that are possibly even half that amount. And on the average mortgage in Fife, which is around about £66,000, you could save yourself around about £2,000 a year in interest. What does that I hear you say? £2,000 is about the rate that some of our utilities are going up. So potentially, if you fix the rate of your mortgage, if you're on a variable rate mortgage, that amount you've just saved could actually pay for the increase that you're going to have in your utility bills and inflationary pressure as well, which would have a cancelling effect. So this year, you'll be happy as Larry, because it won't affect your income, because you've used that classic scenario of being able to fix your mortgage, save some money, almost £2,000 a year. I'd calculated it before. That's the average amount you can actually save. So that's why it's important to look at these different scenarios about how you can fix it. Now, the reason I say you can fix it as well, and also when you use the instant valuation tool and how that marries up, is because when you first took out your mortgage, you more than likely took it out about a 90% loan to value. In other words, you maybe put 10,000 down, it was a £100,000 house, and you got a £90,000 mortgage. Well, as the years have passed, for example, the last 5 years, property prices have gone up round about 30 to 40%. So now, if that's gone up 30 to 40%, if that goes up 30%, you've got another 30,000. So your £100,000 house is now worth 130. But remember, your mortgage is still only about 90 or 80,000 pound. It's like, wait a minute, that loan to value against the 130,000 now is significantly less. And the lenders, what they do is when you come down to a lower loan to value rate, they bring your interest rate down as a result as well. So it means that you'll be paying a better interest rate than you were when you were on a 90% mortgage, because there's less risk for them. So that's why we put the instant valuation tool on there, is so you can see roughly if your house is actually worth a lot more than what you originally bought it for, to give you a good indication about whether you should actually be looking to shop around for a better mortgage deal in order to fix it right now. So if interest rates do begin to rise, as they've more or less predicted, but we'll talk about that tomorrow on the Wealth Creation Show, because I've been speaking to the corporate division of the Bank of Scotland recently about lending, and they say Well, they say there's certain predictions that they now realise that maybe not will come true. And I'll talk about that more tomorrow on the Wealth Creation Show. So actually, by fixing your mortgage right now, you could have certainty for the next 2 or maybe even 3 or maybe even 5 years, depending on what rate you fix it at and what deal you get. So if prices do go up in terms of interest rates, then you don't need to worry because you've got a fixed rate mortgage. You're paying that every single month, come hell or high water. So that's why we put the instant valuation tool to give you that information so you can help you decide whether you should actually be doing that. And then you can speak to a mortgage broker. We can put you in touch with one if you want, but you've probably got your own, to be honest. If you don't have, then please feel free to message us. We'll put you in the right direction, the right mortgage broker. We've got different mortgage brokers for different circumstances. We know that they're specialists in these areas. Now, for anybody that knows me, I talked about speciality and how important that is, and how the fact of being a specialist in a particular area is a lot better than getting an all-rounder to do something, because a jack of all trades, master of none. But if you specialize in something and you're extremely good at it, then you know a lot more than what everybody else knows, and people you will make and save a lot more money for people because of your specialization. That's why it's important to go to the right mortgage broker to get that information, to make that decision for you so you can save that money. And that's it, guys. So that's it. I'll see you tomorrow on the Wealth Creation Show at 12:30 with Richard Cook. We're going to be talking about urban myths, as I said. And until next time, guys, I'm Jim Parker for Fife Properties TV.